Hello, beautiful, badass light worker. I hope that's what you are tapping into, realizing your greatness, that you are an amazing child of God, a beautiful being of light. Just perhaps you're struggling with a few things here on this human form, this human life. And my podcast, I hope, is helping you find your way, maybe easier, gentler, perhaps opening you up to unlimited possibilities. That is what I strive to do, help you on your journey, help to make it as easy as possible. I've been hearing from several people, excuse me, lately that have taken my spiritual boot camp, and I know I've been bringing that up a lot, but I just have to bring it up because it's amazing the things that are happening with it. Just the most recent story was someone reached out in our private Facebook group. We have a private group for everyone that has taken the boot camp. Once you sign up for it, then you can request to be in the group. And that's the only way that you get in the group is if you take one of my courses. But she posted in the Facebook group that I had, through the boot camp, had helped her reconnect with Jesus. And because of her religious upbringing, she had sort of fallen away from a connection with Jesus because she was very angry about some things and didn't agree with things that were being taught or pushed on her and the other parishioners. But I totally got it. Like when she said it, it made my day. It truly did. I said, oh my God, I helped someone reconnect with Jesus, and it's the most amazing connection ever. I know when I reconnected with him, and I never like rejected religion out of anger. I rejected a lot of the belief systems that were being taught. And I knew from a very young age, from a little girl, that some of the things that were being taught or preached about or taught in Sunday school or even the older classes, that it just didn't jive with me. And I would even, verbally say it. This doesn't seem right. I don't think this is how God is. And I was thinking the other day that, I generally don't post anything with any kind of scripture verse. I don't quote things from the Bible in this podcast. And it's not because I don't believe some of the stories and some of the Bible is true. I do. But I do believe that a lot of text has changed over the years. And when you think about it, every religion has their own version and it's the right one, right? How convenient. So I love that my soul has allowed me to really think out of the box, out of that box that I was taught to be in, but rejected. And again, this is not a pointing fingers, you're wrong, I'm right. Absolutely not. I am only sharing my own feelings, beliefs, what has happened for me. Take it or leave it. Doesn't matter to me. I know that people that are teaching certain philosophies, it's just because it's what they believe, it's what they have been taught or conditioned to believe, and perhaps their own findings, just as I do. So, enough of that rambling. I have no idea. I just wanted to share that I felt honored that I got to help someone reconnect with Jesus. It's a beautiful thing. But the topic of today really is about kids and past lives. Do kids have past lives too? It never ceases to amaze me when I am working with a client, whether it's an individual reading or a family reading or during a course, and it comes out during the session that, about their past lives. Now, here's the thing about past life regression. This is the difference between going to someone who does a reading on you and tells you what you were in a past life. And they might say, this is what you were, and we're going to cut cords to that, and now you're free of that, and then perhaps nothing changes. Because past life regression is actually you, the client, being guided back into the lifetime so that you can quote unquote see what happened. And when I say see, sometimes people actually see it like a movie in their head, like I do, or they might feel it, they might just know it, but I use quote unquote see. So it's all about you going back to see what happened so that you can understand what happened in that lifetime that you've carried over into this one. And we just continue to carry stuff from each lifetime over until we go back and see what happened and heal it. Or I mean, sometimes people can find ways here to heal it just by tapping and meditation and yoga and really letting go of the past and not needing to know what happened. Like sometimes our ego just says, well, you have to know before we can move on. I've done a lot of tapping lately, just saying the phrase, I let go of the past. I let go of the past. I let go of past soul wounds. I let go of past sadness, past anger. Like I was doing this, and this was all about past lives. So I have people that hire me or come to me to do either individual sessions or even sign up to do coaching with me. And they've been told certain things about past lives, but that honestly heals nothing. When you're told something, I've been told that I was on the Titanic and then I lost my family. And to be honest, I get a lot of clients who reach out to me, and when they do a past life regression, they were on the Titanic. We do travel in groups. We find each other, even if it's for, a day, 5 minutes, a year, a lifetime. We find one another and we move on. Some of us stay in the same circle, some of us don't. So I'm not surprised when I'm doing past life regressions sometimes, and I always just guide people, like when you're doing past life regression, you never suggest anything. The client is actually telling, my clients are telling me what they're experiencing. I'm just helping them if they happen to get either nervous or scared or feel like they can't move forward. And then I have some little tricks up my sleeve that I can help them move forward. But it never ceases to amaze me when I tell people, I might talk about, this is all a past life thing right now that's affecting you. And, we can get rid of that. Like we can travel back, see what happened, heal it. You'll be going back with Archangel Michael. He's going to be with you hand in hand because Archangel Michael has been with us every single lifetime. He knows what's happened. He goes with us. That's one thing I do, I think, different than other practitioners. So my past life regression involves angels and Archangel Michael goes back with you. And when I take people just to, into the space where they're relaxed and they move into this beautiful, amazing garden, and then off in a distance, Archangel Michael comes through this gate, they say that right there is so profound. It's a beautiful feeling. It's that soul to soul knowing and loving. But when my clients, during their reading, it might come out that, oh, we're going to talk about your son, or maybe the name pops out. Sometimes they'll say a name and it is their son or daughter or someone, but we're just going to talk about the kids right now. So I might say you have a boy and a girl, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, well, we're going to talk about the boy because I see him like just the other day I did a reading for someone, and I said, your little boy, and I can't remember right now if he was 9 or 11, somewhere in there. I said, is he obsessed with like army movies, like those? And the dad just like his eyes got real big. He's like, yes, like Saving Private Ryan. And he goes, that's all we watch. He's obsessed with those movies. And I said, well, there's more to the story than that, right? So number one, if your kids are obsessed about watching certain things, whether it's army movies, military, I'm going to pose the possibility, a big possibility, that they had a past life in a military or army situation. So when I talked about it, and then I said a few more things that the dad just couldn't believe, I said, you know what we can do? I said, let's call the angels in and let's ask them to surround your son and soften his soul memories. Now, I don't know how you feel about this, but this is what I do with clients often is with the parents, I will say, let's ask the angels to come in and soften your child's, well, this time it was soul memories, so that he could be a kid, because really this little boy was um seemed very older. And I'm going to steer away from because he was an old soul. Let's just leave that off the table right now and just say, I'm going to say because he was carrying some heaviness, some burdens from past lives. And so when we ask the angels to help our children, we can say, because we don't want to ever take anything away from their experience, okay? This little boy was here to have his own experience. And I do the same thing when we're working with kids who can sense or see things or know or feel things around that really they don't like. You know, maybe they have an active house that has some uninvited guests, or maybe it's uncrossed souls, maybe it's fallen angels, but I will tell the parents, let's ask the angels to soften your daughter's sight. Soften it. Just soften it a little. She doesn't, or soften, and I say sight in quotes because it might be her feel like she feels stuff. So we can soften that. Angels, please surround my child. Soften her senses. What if we just worded it that way? So that she can be a kid, that she can be a joyful little girl or little boy and not always be sensing all this stuff around them. You can ask the angels for that so that your child can kind of, spend some time being a child, being a kid. And then the angels will allow it all to unfold whenever it's supposed to, when and if they're supposed to tap back into that amazing ability. So I always say, don't pray that they take it away, because I don't think we should ever ask for that for anyone. But you can ask the angels to soften things. So I thought it would be important to talk about these children, because children have had past lives too. It's not just us adults. And they're carrying stuff over from those past lives just like we are. A lot of things, if you or your child have like a phobia about something, a lot of people who were on the Titanic, I find, they can have a phobia about the ocean. Not to say they wouldn't go on a cruise or on a boat, but being in the ocean, like in the middle of the ocean, swimming around, would really freak them out. And it might be, other things. Some people have a phobia, like they cannot go on a boat no matter what. Some won't even put their feet in the water. I've run into a couple of people that I did past life regression for, and they won't even put their feet, like their toes maybe, but that's as far as it's going. It's so interesting. I always say my work is like, I always feel like I'm an investigator, like a detective or something. We're putting the pieces together. It's so much fun. Even in my own life, I'm always feeling like I'm always putting the clues together, the signs and the clues from the universe. It makes life really, really exciting. So if your children or grandchildren have any of these like obsessions, or they have to watch this kind of show, or they're really into this kind of movie and they just have to watch them in it. I remember I did a podcast about a little boy. I believe his name's Joey. I don't know if you heard that one, but let me tell you a little bit about this, because I did a reading with his mom, long distance. We did it over the online, and she's a few states away. And during the reading, I believe, now I don't remember details. When I do readings, it's pretty much I do the reading and then it's all like gone. And that is truly the angels protecting me, because I would be a disaster if I went around carrying everybody's stuff around, right? So they take everything away from me when the reading's over with. So I don't know that I'll get all the details correct. But Joey, I do remember it came up in the reading that he would draw pictures of very awful scenes at young age. I think he was like 3 and 4, and he would draw like bloody battlefields and people dying, and his mom couldn't understand it. She didn't know why. And it came out in the session that was a past life that he was carrying. Now, as I'm talking to this mother and her little boy's at school, I think he's, I don't know, gosh, again, I don't remember the age, 8, 9 now, perhaps, somewhere in there. I said, how about, if you're okay with it, how about we do some healing work with your son Joey while he's at school? And I said, and he probably won't even know we're working on him. And his mother said, oh, I bet he might. He's that intuitive. So I said a prayer and I called Jesus in and I asked Jesus to go to Joey in that classroom wherever he was and to put his hands on his shoulders or his head or whatever's needed and to soften his soul memory. Remember, I said to ask for that. Now, this is guided stuff that comes in readings, so that's why I word it that way, because that's what's coming through, the way to ask for it. So we asked Jesus and Archangel Michael to be by him, but for Jesus to put his hands on him, I'm adamant about asking for Jesus's hands to be put on a soul. Living, past, fallen angel, doesn't matter. We need his hands to be on them. Let me get a sip of water here. So I'm taking her through this exercise and I'm walking her through it and she's seeing it in her head the same as and she said it was just amazing. She could see it all happen. And we asked for them to stay, for Jesus to stay and Archangel Michael and continue to help Joey until it was complete. Well, she reached out to me, I think the next day. It might have been that night. And she said she couldn't believe it, that Joey came home and he told his mom, Mom, you're not going to believe it, in this class. And he gave her the name of the class. And it was actually the same time she realized that was the time we were working on him. He said, somebody came up to me and said, do you want to heal? Now, Joey's past lives and his sensitivity to energies causes him to have some major like meltdowns and anger issues. So that's how much the energy is affecting him. So to hear him say that to his mom, and I think she said his grandmother was standing in the room. She just about like fell over because she had heard what we'd done. The woman had told her mother. And I just was like, I mean, I do these things, this type of thing every day with clients, but it blows me away still. It every time I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy amazing that he came home and said that. So, no need to panic if you're thinking, oh my God, where my little kid or my little munchkin is now great. What kind of past lives are they carrying? Let's not do that. We don't have to go worry. This is not to worry you. This is actually to help you let go of some stress and anxiety because you know now how to call in the angels to take care of your child. Soften their sight, soften their senses, soften their soul wounds, and let them be a kid for a while. The angels can only come in if we ask them, and you as a parent have so much power in sending the angels into your child. And then as they grow up, as they get older, you want to begin to teach your child to call the angels in themselves, okay? Because you're not always going to be there when they need them. So I'm going to say, your job to call the angels in for your child, and always call them in for yourself too. Okay, don't give angels away. They can be with all of us. But make sure you are teaching your child along the way how to do it. Pass on your wisdom so that they can grow up knowing about this when some of us didn't learn about this till much later. How amazing that now you get to pass it on to your little munchkins, your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews. I love sharing this with my nephews, and it's been so amazing to watch them grow and send me pictures and signs of things that they get from the angels. It just gives me goosebumps all over. Right now, I'm just like got chills because I just smile because they're in that flow. All right. I hope this was helpful. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you would just take a moment, if you're listening, hop on and give me a review. Give me some stars. I need some stars. More stars, please. And if you have a moment, even writing a little message so that when others check it out, they would see whether or not they want to listen to me. See if it's worth their time. If you ever need further help with this, your child or yourself, I do past life regression with adults, and we can do some things with your child or your children. Again, with Jesus and the angels and Archangel Michael. If you do need my help, we can do that during a one-on-one session, which you can find on my website, juliatreat.com. And just before I let you go, I did want to make you aware I do have 2 one-on-one coaching, mentoring openings that are coming up. So I fill up fast. I have 2 opening up. You can get that info on my website as well. Just look at under Work With Me, and we can hop on a call and see what we need to do and how I can help you and see if it's a good fit. All right. Thanks again for listening. God bless you.